Dealers across America are flat out refusing trade-ins on 13 of the most common cars in your neighborhood right now. Not lowballing, refusing. Vehicles that were worth $40,000 and $50,000 2 years ago are getting offers so low that owners are leaving the lot thinking the system glitched. But the system did not glitch. The market did. And if your car is on this list, every month you wait is costing you thousands of dollars you are never getting back. I'm going to walk you through all 13 and show you exactly why dealers do not want them anymore. Number 13, the Mitsubishi Outlander. A guy in Raleigh, North Carolina bought one brand new 3 years ago. First new car he ever owned. Saved for 2 years to make the down payment. Last month he went to a Hyundai dealership in Cary wanting to trade up to a Tucson. The sales manager ran the numbers, went quiet for a minute, and came back with an offer that was $4,000 less than what he still owed on the loan. 42,000 miles, no accidents, clean interior, did not matter. The Outlander loses over 51% of its value in 5 years according to IC Cars. That is almost 10 points worse than the compact SUV average, and the problem runs deeper than the car itself. Mitsubishi has shrunk its US dealer network 16% since 2019, dropping from 355 stores to about 299. Total US sales fell nearly 14% in 2025 to under 95,000 units for the entire year. When the dealer appraising your trade knows the nearest warranty center might be an hour away and the brand barely sells 100,000 cars a year nationwide, that uncertainty gets baked into your offer, and you are the one who pays for it. Number 12, the Chrysler 300. A retired mail carrier in Memphis, Tennessee bought the 300S as a gift to himself the week he hung up his bag. V6, leather seats, always garaged, waxed every Saturday for 3 years, 31,000 miles. He drove it to a Toyota dealer in Collierville to trade toward a Camry, and the appraiser told him something he had never heard before in 40 years of buying cars. "We are not taking these on trade right now. Not for a low number, not at all." He told him the wholesale auction values on Chrysler 300s were so low it would cost the dealership money just to process the paperwork and transport it. Chrysler as a brand now has exactly one product in its entire lineup, the Pacifica minivan. The 300 was discontinued after the 2023 model year with no replacement. Stellantis brand inventory is sitting at more than double the industry average days supply. When a manufacturer kills your car, offers no successor, and then struggles to keep its remaining brands alive, every dealer in the country sees your 300 the same way. A vehicle nobody is shopping for from a brand that barely exists. Number 11, the Buick Enclave. A grandmother in Grand Rapids, Michigan bought the Enclave 4 years ago to haul grandkids to soccer tournaments and family lake trips. 3 rows, smooth ride, did everything she asked it to. Now the grandkids are in high school, she wants something smaller, and she figured 4 years of careful ownership on a $50,000 SUV would leave her with a solid trade-in cushion. The dealer offered $11,000. She asked the sales manager to run it again because she was certain the system pulled the wrong vehicle. It had not. The Enclave depreciates 58.5% in 5 years. A brand new 2025 model is projected to lose over $23,000 in just its first 2 years off the lot, and the network behind it has been gutted. Nearly half of Buick's entire dealer body took buyouts rather than invest in the EV infrastructure GM demanded. Fewer dealers competing for your trade means lower offers. Nobody is fighting over a used Enclave when they cannot move the new ones. Number 10, the Nissan Pathfinder. A father of 3 in Lakewood, Colorado bought the Pathfinder because it checked every practical box. 7 seats, all-wheel drive, enough cargo room for family camping trips. 2 years later, the CVT started shuddering at highway speeds around 40,000 miles. Nothing catastrophic, but enough to make him nervous. He figured he would trade before anything expensive broke. Smart thinking. The dealer in Littleton offered $17,000 on a vehicle he paid $38,000 for. 2 years of ownership and more than half the value gone. CarEdge puts the Pathfinder at roughly 60% depreciation over 5 years, and a 2022 model that's stickered near $33,000 trades for around $17,000 today. But it is not just the car. Nissan posted a $1.44 billion net loss in the first half of fiscal 2025. 38% of Nissan's American dealers were losing money. When the manufacturer behind your car is in a financial tailspin, every dealer doing your appraisal prices that instability straight into the offer. But the next one is not about a struggling brand, it is about a beloved one that destroyed itself. Number 9. The Dodge Charger. The last generation Hemi V8 sedan specifically. A young electrician in Phoenix, Arizona saved for 2 years and bought a Scat Pack the week he got his journeyman's license. $54,000. Kept it immaculate. Now his girlfriend is pregnant and he needs a back seat that actually works for a car seat. He figured the Charger name would hold. A Stellantis dealer in Scottsdale offered $22,000. He is still making $400 monthly payments on a car worth less than what he owes. The last gas Charger sedan rolled off the line in late 2023. Dodge replaced it with an electric version that Edmunds reported lost roughly $50,000 in value in under 12 months. That is not a typo, by the way. And the leftover Hemi sedans are trapped in a brutal no man's land. The old car is discontinued. The new car tanked in resale and scared off the brand's core buyers. Dodge as a whole is sitting at roughly 140 days of unsold inventory, nearly double the industry average. Decades of muscle car equity built into that name. Stellantis burned through all of it in 2 model years. Number 8. The Chevrolet Blazer. The gas-powered version, not the electric one. A nurse in Kennesaw, Georgia bought the Blazer RS 2 years ago because it looked sharp, had the right tech package, and fit comfortably under $45,000. She is relocating across the state for a new hospital position and needs to sell fast. The dealer offered $21,000. She could not believe it. CarEdge data shows the Blazer losing roughly 38% of its value in a single year, which drops it into the bottom tier of the entire midsize SUV class. Buyers cross-shop it against the Tucson, the Sportage, and the RAV4, all of which hold value significantly better. The Blazer also has an identity crisis that hurts it at the appraisal desk. Chevrolet revived a legendary name and stuck it on a street crossover that old-school Chevy buyers never wanted and new buyers never specifically asked for. It does not have the off-road credibility of the original K5. It does not have the resale reputation of the Tahoe. It sits in the middle of the lineup with no clear audience, and that confusion follows it all the way to the trade-in counter.
Number 7. The Infiniti QX60. And this is the one that tells you brand perception is worth more than any feature list. A real estate agent in Charlotte, North Carolina leased a QX60 for 3 years because he thought the luxury badge would impress clients at open houses. When the lease matured, he wanted to buy it out and trade towards something newer. The dealer told him not to bother. They already had 7 used QX60s sitting on their lot, some marked down $12,000 below the original ask, and none of them had moved in 90 days. The QX60 depreciates 61.2% in 5 years, according to IC Cars, which puts it among the worst of any luxury SUV in the country, and the brand behind it is evaporating. Infiniti sold just 58,000 vehicles in all of 2024. Their dealers are averaging 24 new sales per month. That is less than 1 car per day. Infiniti is now pushing dealers to merge into Nissan showrooms, which feels less like a strategy and more like a quiet downgrade to a trim package. Nobody at a backyard barbecue dreams about owning an Infiniti. When a luxury brand loses that aspiration, the trade-in value follows it into the ground. Because from here on, this list starts hitting the cars parked in half the driveways on your street. Number 6. The Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. A teacher outside Portland, Oregon bought it because the plug-in hybrid qualified for a federal tax credit that brought the price down $5,000. Smart move at the time. The problem is that tax credits lower the price you pay. They do nothing for the price you get back. Her battery warranty is nearing expiration, and she wanted to trade toward a used RAV4 hybrid before the coverage lapsed. The dealer's offer came in $8,000 below what she expected, not because the car had issues, because the next buyer would be terrified of a battery replacement bill outside of warranty. The Outlander PHEV depreciates 52.7% in 5 years, according to IC Cars. That is 16 points worse than the hybrid compact SUV average of 36%. And with Mitsubishi's dealer count continuing to shrink, the service infrastructure a plug-in depends on is getting thinner every quarter. Honestly, I think plug-in hybrids from brands with small dealer networks are becoming the quiet trade-in trap that nobody is talking about yet. The technology works fine, the support system behind it does not, and that gap is exactly where your trade-in value disappears. Number 5. The Nissan Altima. And if you drive one, sit down for this. A single dad in Katy, Texas bought the Altima new 3 years ago because it fit his budget when rates were still low. Nothing flashy, just reliable transportation to work and school. Now the kid needs braces and he wants to lower his monthly payment by trading into something older and paid off. He walked into a Toyota dealership in West Houston, and the moment they saw the Nissan key fob, the energy in the room changed. The offer came back at $13,000 on a vehicle he paid $29,000 for. The appraiser assumed it was a former rental. It was not. He bought it brand new from a Nissan dealer in Katy. But the Altima carries a rental car stigma so deep that it follows the car even when the history is spotless. 44% depreciation in 5 years, which is 4 points worse than the mid-size sedan average. Nissan has publicly signaled it plans to pull most sedans from its future lineup, and that signal is a death sentence for resale. When the manufacturer tells the market that sedans are not the future, every used buyer hears it. Why would you buy a used Altima when the company that built it is walking away from sedans entirely? Number 4. The Ram 1500. And if you drive a truck, do not look away. A general contractor in Lee's Summit, Missouri has been driving his 2022 Bighorn for 3 years, 110,000 miles. It has hauled lumber, towed trailers, and showed up to every job site. He figured a Ram would still hold enough value for a decent down payment on something newer. The Ram dealer offered $14,000. He almost walked off the lot. The sales manager was not being unfair, he was being honest. The dealership already had over 115 days of unsold new Rams on the ground. Ram had been running employee pricing promotions so aggressive that a brand new 2026 1500 was going for $8,000 below sticker. His used truck is not competing against other used trucks, it is competing against discounted new ones, and that is a fight it cannot win. Stellantis pushed Ram brand supply to 138 days by March of 2026. The industry average is 76. That flood of unsold new inventory trickles down to every used Ram sitting on every lot in the country. I am not going to stand here and tell you the Ram is a bad truck. It is a genuinely good truck. But when the factory will not stop building them, and the dealers cannot stop discounting them, your trade-in absorbs every dollar of that damage. That is not your fault, but it is absolutely your problem. Number 3. The Chevrolet Malibu. And I know what you might be thinking. The Malibu? The sensible car? The one your neighbor bought because it gets good highway mileage and the payments were $329 a month? That one. A factory worker in Toledo, Ohio has been making $350 payments on his Malibu for 3 years. Never missed one. Oil changes on time, tires rotated, everything by the book. Then, General Motors killed the model. Production ended in late 2024 and Chevrolet replaced it with nothing. No successor sedan, just a gap in the lineup and a flood of used Malibus hitting the wholesale market with no new nameplate to hold perceived value. He went to trade it toward a Trax, and the dealer offered $9,000. 3 years of payments at $350 a month comes to $12,600. The car is now worth less than what he has already paid into it. And the reason is not the vehicle. The Malibu runs fine. The reason is 3 words that destroy trade-in value faster than any recall or mechanical failure. No longer made. The moment buyers hear a manufacturer stopped building a car, they assume parts will dry up, service will become harder to find, and the next owner will be stranded. The perception sets the price.
And right now, that perception is punishing Malibu owners who did nothing wrong except buy a car from a company that decided sedans were not worth making anymore. But these last two entries make everything else on this list look like a pricing disagreement. Because this is not about depreciation curves or market cycles. This is about a manufacturer telling you to park your own car outside your own home and hope it does not catch fire.
Number 2. The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. A mom in Maple Grove, Minnesota bought the Grand Cherokee 4xe because it handled winters better than anything else on the lot, and she liked running electric for the school drop-off loop. 45,000 miles, no problems. Then the recall letter arrived. NHTSA recall 25V741. 320,000 Jeep plug-in hybrids pulled back for battery fire risk. 19 confirmed fires, including in vehicles that had already received a prior recall fix. The advisory did not say bring it in for a repair. It said park outside, away from any structure, and do not recharge the battery until further notice. She's been leaving it in the driveway since November while her garage sits 10 feet away, through a Minnesota winter. She went to a Jeep dealer in Bloomington to trade it, and they would not take it. Not a lowball number, a flat no. They told her they cannot accept recalled plug-in hybrids as trade inventory when the manufacturer has not validated a permanent fix. She called 2 more dealers in the metro. Same answer. Think about that for a second. You are making payments on a $58,000 vehicle that Stellantis is telling you not to park in your own garage, and the dealer that sold it to you will not take it back at any price. That is not a market correction. That is abandonment. And the number 1 spot on this list has the same recall, the same fire risk, and somehow an even worse story behind it. Number 1. The Jeep Wrangler 4xe. If you know anyone who owns one, send them this video before they walk into a dealership and find out the hard way. A guy in Colorado Springs, Colorado paid $69,000 for a Wrangler Rubicon 4xe 2 years ago. Trail-rated, lifted, built for the mountains. 32,000 miles. Then the same fire recall landed on his vehicle. 3 fire-related recalls on the same model in 3 years. He took it to 3 different dealers in the Colorado Springs area looking for any way out. The first offered $26,000. That is a 37% return on a $69,000 vehicle after 24 months. The second dealer told him they were not accepting 4xe trades until Stellantis validated a permanent remedy. The third said come back when there is a fix, but nobody could tell him when that would be. He still owes $41,000 on the loan. That is $15,000 underwater on a vehicle he cannot park in his garage, cannot charge, and cannot sell for what he owes. Kelley Blue Book data shows the 2023 Wrangler 4xe has lost 58% of its value in 3 years. I want to be straight with you about something. Every car on this list has the same thing in common. It is not bad engineering, and it is not bad design. It is that the companies who built these vehicles stopped thinking about what happens to you after you drive off the lot. They overproduced trucks nobody ordered. They discontinued sedans people depended on. They slapped hybrid badges on vehicles with battery systems they had not finished testing. And every time the bill comes due, it is not the manufacturer who pays. It is the guy in Colorado Springs staring at a $15,000 hole in his finances, wondering how a Jeep became the worst financial decision he ever made. These 13 cars are not bad cars. They are cars that got abandoned by the people who built them. And if yours is on this list, the clock is ticking. Which of these 13 shocked you the most? Drop a comment telling me which one you think loses the most value by the end of the year. And if this video saved you from a bad trade-in decision, smash that like button so more people see it before they walk onto a dealer lot unprepared.